Food Bank is an irreplaceable part of the community. We are here to serve, and we serve by providing food through a huge network of partner hunger relief charities. They in turn then are feeding individuals who have a hard time keeping food on the table. There are about 1 million people in Southeast Texas who don't make enough money to reliably have nutritious food in their homes. And then on any given day, about 66,000 people simply have nothing to eat because they can't afford to buy any food.
Well, I think they'd really suffer. I think they struggle even more than they already do. I think they resort to other ways to try to feed their families, all of which might not be above board. I think we're really vital to the Houston community and to all those people we serve.
Well, it means that, when you think that there's close to 800,000 to 1 million people that are hungry in the 18 counties we serve, that don't know where their next meal is coming from. And so they're food insecure. And I think if it wasn't for the Houston Food Bank being there, there would be lots more hungry people and people who were really focused only on getting their next meal rather than trying to better their lives. My name is Stan Eddy. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Houston Food Bank. Well, the process is it arrives traditionally either we picked it up or it's being delivered to us at night. We operate 24 hours a day during the week and all day on Saturday. So the product arrives at night and we receive it. So we have a receiving system. So we actually count the product in from the trucks and we receive it into our inventory system, and then it's put away. The night warehouse workers put the product into the slots and they attach what's called a license plate to it. And that license plate tells us where it is, and it corresponds to what's in the system. So then the next day, it then shows up on the agency's order guides, and they can start ordering the product. We just did an inventory at the end of June. Every year we do an annual inventory that's audited, and we had 5.5 million pounds of food in the warehouse. Well, the volunteer group, we have some 59,000 volunteers a year, and they become really my working staff. They sort the food. We get all the salvage back from grocery stores and other sources. This is the product that's damaged in a grocery store, either dented or torn, and they send that back. We process it, categorize it. That's all done with volunteers. We use volunteers to do our order picking. We do volunteers to do meat sorting. We use volunteers to stock our emergency pantry. So we're using volunteers throughout the day as a workforce, and so the 59,000 people equate to a lot of full-time employees that would be necessary if it wasn't for those volunteers. I measure by month, and so the volunteer group goes through about 800,000 pounds of food a month.
The Houston Food Bank relies on volunteers to get the work done that we need done. We couldn't do what we do without volunteers, and so that they're in charge of making sure that we get volunteers in, that they have a good experience, that they actually produce for us, and that we recognize them for the hard work that they do.
Well, I really look at the distribution of truckloads by month. So we distribute on our trucks about 1,350 truckloads a month. And we pick up from our donors about 1,850 truckloads a month. So our drivers go out and deliver, and then they stop at donors on their way back in and pick up product to come back in. So it's a cycle. They're taking food out and then they're picking up food to come back in. But we bring in more product than we're distributing solely by our trucks, because about 28% of our agencies come and pick up, we don't deliver to them.
The simplest way to explain what would happen if the Houston Food Bank were to be swallowed in a whole is that people would be hungry. It stinks.
Well, I think what you would have is you would have people that weren't able to function because, again, they're worried about where their next meal is, and this could be kids in school who are focused not on studying, not on education, but only trying to get what they're going to eat that day.
The one word I would use to describe the Houston Food Bank is mighty.
Collaborative.
One word. Flexible.